Hello people, I'm going to be showing you two cool mods we have on the server, which are the Exposure and Vista mod, which allow you to add really cool functionalities such as pictures and videos onto your builds, and they're really fun to play around with. Uh, so the first mod I'm going to show is the Vista mod, which allows you to have televisions on your on your own little base. The way you make a television at first is using this recipe: tinted glass, planks, diamond, redstone. You make one television at minimum. Then you need to find a cassette tape. Cassette tapes can be found in many different dungeon chests, or they can be found by getting a pillager to be killed by getting a creeper to be killed by a pillager. Which pretty fucking unreasonably long, to be honest. But you know, when you make these, you can take a cassette tape, put a TV, put a cassette, get a lever. Be careful, hold on. Yep. And oops. And depending on the cassette you got, it'll display a custom little thing. For example, this is a cassette tape of an awesome hacker thing. You know, it's got enchanted. See? And when you do this, see it hanging around. Now, this is kind of boring, but don't worry. There's a few ways you can actually enhance this. First one is a viewfinder. We get a viewfinder by crafting it using this recipe with iron, spyglass, and any sort of planks. Now, uh, and another thing you're gonna need is a cassette again. But this time we're gonna use the cassette as a crafting recipe. As when you combine a cassette of any kind with an echo shard you get from an ancient city, you'll be able to get yourself a hollow cassette, which allows you to connect the TV onto other sort of function blocks this mod add. For example, let me place down my viewfinder at wow. If I right click on it, I'll be able to select where this is looking, and you might be able to see where this is going. Oh, whoops, forgot. You gotta shift right click to bound the cassette. And when I go to the TV and I right click it, I'll be able to see my own little home from any angle. And you can adjust the angle anytime, and you can even zoom in. For example, let me right here. Oops. Let me yep. Which is now currently zooming in. It's not showing, but you'll see. It shows up on the camera. Yep. See? It's zooming in. And it does show pretty much everything. And another way you can use this broken cassette is a block called wavegate. You make a wavegate by having two end rods, three obsidian, and any sort of plank. And when you make one, you place one, and inside you have to enter a link of any sort of embed or image you have. Make sure it's not a YouTube link, make sure it's the link to the video itself. And when you connect it, it's gonna play the embed you got. And in fact, if you want, you could even make the television bigger. You can make it 2 by 2, you can make it 3 by 3, and I'm pretty sure it goes up to 8 by 8. And yeah, it's pretty cool. It's really simple to work with. It has pretty easy crafting recipes, and all around, just a really fun mod you can mess around with. You can play anything. Just make sure that their aspect ratio is 1 by 1, so that stuff doesn't get cut off. And please don't use a lot of this. It may at times lag your own device slash throttle your internet, but if you use sparingly, there won't be any issues. And the other mod I'm going to show you is the exposure mod. Let me get to it. Yeah, put these items back into my storage system, which I've shown how to make. And it's raining, I see. Well, let's get inside for a bit. So, what the exposure mod adds is a new camera item. You can see it here. You can even make a camera stand. The way we craft a camera is using one of either aether glass pane or normal glass pane, it has to be not colored, and a button, lever, and 6 iron. Crafting it, you'll be able to have your own little camera in your hand. And at first, this camera can't really do anything. I don't know if you're hearing it, but there's like little clicks and it's not doing anything. That's because our camera right now is empty. If we crouch right click, you'll be able to see the inventory of our little camera. Here, you can put a spyglass if you wish to add a zooming feature. Look. Or you can remove it. You can add filters, which give it a certain color filter. And the most important part we have for now is the films. You can make two different kinds of films. Black and white films, which require this crafting recipe, and color films, which require this crafting recipe. For the purposes of this explanation, I'll be using a color film. Once you insert your color film, you'll be able to actually take photos. See? 1, 2, and if you hold control, left control, you'll be able to select some settings here. For example, I can still zoom in here, but it won't be as much as the other one. I can make a certain shutter speed. I can add a composition guide to help me take pictures better. I can see how many film frames I got. I can have a timer. And in fact, you can even use it as a selfie. As you can see, wait, hang on. No, that's, how do you make it selfie again? I forgot. Well, I'll tell you when I figure it out. And you can also make a little camera stand using this crafting recipe, using 2 smooth stone slabs, 4 sticks, and an iron ingot. You make one, you put it, bam, bam, and you can see it's looking here. Boom! See? And it's pretty cool. And oops. And you can take it back by attacking it. And once you've taken all your pictures, let me do that real quick. It shows you there. I got one last picture. Yeah. Once you've taken all your pictures, your color film will be full and you won't be able to use it again. You can rename the color film to make sure you remember. Let's say showcase for this one. And then it's going to be the showcase. Now, the way I actually have to turn this into a proper image is that you gotta, let me get here. This is my little room. First off, you gotta make awkward, thick, and mundane potions, which can be done by redstone for mundane, nether wart for awkward, and glowstone for thick potion. You grab one of each, and putting these right here together will allow you to turn your little which got color film into a full like developed color film. You will get the glass valves back, so don't worry about it. And now we have an item that will allow us to take out the pictures. Another thing you have to do for now is create a block called a light room. Using this light room, we will be able to turn our pictures into actual images. Inside of the light room looks like this. You're gonna have to insert black dye, yellow dye, magenta dye, cyan dye, and paper to actually use it. Here, you'll be able to see all the pictures you took. Now, I know they look weird right now, but that's normal. You can just click on them to scroll through. And you know what? Let's get this one. Let's print this one out. Frame 11. Let's go. And it's slowly printing it out, as you can see. It's gonna take a hot moment. And when it does, you can take it out, which gives you a little bit of XP. And here, you have your little picture. It's fully colored, and again, you don't have to add these 3 colors if you're going for black and white film. But I personally do enjoy using these. And the difference between color film and this film is that high sensitivity color film is that they have higher sensitivity for colors. Pretty much, you'll get less noise and higher quality images, but it requires a little more to actually craft these. So, after getting this picture, if you want to display it, you have to create what we call a photograph frame, which is created out of one item frame, 4 sticks, and 4 blocks. You can place this on the wall, but make sure you have any sort of block before you actually place it, because if you don't, it'll always do a 3x3, but you can't force its shape onto a 1x1, or even, hang on, or you can even force it to a 2x2. Oops. And then, if you right click with your photograph, it'll display. And it's pretty cool. See? You know what? I'll keep this here. Thingy. And another thing you can do with this mod is craft an instant camera, which allows you to skip this process, but in short creates slightly less quality images. The recipe for it requires a redstone lamp, again glass, buttons, iron ingots, and a crafter, which is a base Minecraft item, which is crafted using this recipe. And when you do, you also need to create what we call instant color slides, which can be created using this crafting recipe: 2 lapis, 1 black dye, cyan dye, magenta dye, yellow dye, and paper. Or you can create the black and white one, which is significantly cheaper. And you can also do the high sensitivity ones, but you know, okay. And once you, let's make one actually. Once you make one, you can actually grab this and right click to insert the slides into it. And once you do, you'll be able to start taking pictures. Let's take a picture of this. And it created an image. See? We've got another picture. Isn't that pretty cool? Yeah. And it's as simple as that. It's pretty fun. I recommend playing around with it, as it just creates some really cool and awesome imagery. And it allows you to add way more stuff onto your world. I definitely recommend it. It's been fun toying around with the television and the picture mod, and generally having more things to do is just plain fun. We got a few pictures here, you know, of some cool stuff. So yeah, that's how you do it. Alright, that was fun. See you later. Bye bye.